it the first historic proof of war.
They showed their enemies no mercy and expected none in return. They ruled the southern plains with ruthless abandon. To their native enemies, they were known as those who always want to fight. We know them as Comanche warriors. Their heyday lasted for nearly 150 years. A century and a half marked by power, progress, and brutal warfare. 150 years of fear, distrust, and bloody reprisals. The story of the Comanche warrior begins here and will end here, in the rugged canyons, the open plains, and wooded hills that stretch from what is now Kansas to central Texas. It's an area of nearly 20,000 square miles, teeming with buffalo, deer, and antelope. One of the most fertile hunting grounds in North America. It's a rich land that satisfies the needs of these proud people. At first, the Comanche wander through these southern plains on foot, as nomadic hunters following the plentiful game. Then, in the late 17th century, the Comanche first encounter strange and powerful animals. Herds of mustangs left behind by Spanish conquistadors. These will transform the Comanche from nomads to legendary warriors.
Well, the Comanche, to me, always could handle the horse. That's just part of us.
And the Comanche, it seems, was just a suited individual for the horse. The Comanches, on the average, were about 5'6". They were, broad and deep in the chest. They had heavy muscles. In my mind, they were kind of like the perfect jockey.
I think the secret of Comanche power is horsepower.
Even though other tribes learn to use the horse with great skill, the Comanche discover they have an almost supernatural affinity with the horse, and they become powerful equestrians.
Within a generation after they discovered the horse, after they just saw this animal for the first time, the Comanches developed a reputation of being the finest horse breeders in the Southwest.
They breed the Mustangs to be small, fast, and tough. The herds are nurtured, cared for, and defended. With plenty of strong horses, the Comanche are highly mobile. And on the backs of their prized Mustangs, Comanche hunters can overtake large herds of buffalo roaming the plains.
The buffalo was the prize because the plains people had learned to use the buffalo in 52 different ways. So the buffalo meant, it meant life.
This was the richest game area in North America because of the buffalo primarily. This is one thing that made the Comanches so powerful because they could get their food much, much easier than other plains tribes.
Mobile and efficient hunters, the Comanche territory grows. And with this mobility comes the necessity to keep other tribes out of their hunting grounds. To survive, the Comanche must fight. And they fight frequently with their neighbors, the Apache, the Kiowa, and the Ute. In fact, the name Comanche comes from the Ute word, Comat, meaning those who are against us.
If you could really understand one thing about the Comanches is that they were on the offensive. That's how that they worked. They struck and they raided, and no one dared, to enter their territory.
A man's value to the tribe becomes his value as a warrior.
A warrior is somebody who provides for the people. The ability to protect, to provide and to preserve your people. That's what a warrior is, not just a killer.
A man got prestige by his valor. Courage was their supreme virtue.
With an ever-growing territory and a culture based on the cult of the warrior, the Comanche build themselves into the fiercest, most tenacious warrior hunters in North America.
War was not a situation with them, it was a continual state of mind.
Wherever the war took us, that's where we were.
The Comanche, who never seem to have numbered more than 12,000, live in small family groups called bands, enabling them to spread out over a larger area, not having to compete for food and water, but still capable to come together in times of war.
There were several major bands and many, many subdivisions from the major bands. Quahatas, that's the antelope eaters. Yaparakas, Lakotsarakas. The Nokonis, they were those who wandered over the plains. The Penatakas. In fact, they were the most southern band.
Each band has its own leaders, and all band leaders serve equally. There is no one great Comanche chief.
A Comanche leader evolved over a period of time with superior skills and superior intelligence. There was no campaigning. That would ensure that you wouldn't become a leader. Not happen.
The Comanche system of small bands, leaders chosen through valor, and their skills in defending their land works brilliantly. The tribe is not only existing, they are flourishing.
Comanches had developed such a reputation for efficiency in battle and in warfare that in spite of the fact that there were relatively very few of them, they controlled the largest hunting empire in the history of this continent.
By the early 1800s, Comanche warriors have ruthlessly driven off all other tribes who dare to invade their vast hunting grounds. But a strange new tribe of white men, calling themselves Texans, begin to crowd Comanche territory. And these tough frontiersmen will prove to be a more than worthy enemy against the war-hardened Comanche.